kind of sexy, man.
We live.
Kind of sexy. I know. I see it. Kind of sexy.
Turn up your speakers and let them bomb me on right now. You already heard about it. Rachel is sending y'all so the next discussing topics. Pick up your phone and call. So real, talking about facts and the metaphysical. So deep, you gon' need a rap to make sure you stay afloat. So baby, don't you change that station. Be a part of this history that's in the making. It don't matter what you're doing, just save it. And you can get back to it later. And you can catch some of this flavor.
Nice. Yes, it does.
Appreciate that, man. That was real.
Okay.
Hey, real, recognize real as a G-Law. Always be yourself, never be a fraud. Life is up and down, call it seesaw. Stay woke, triple R, ringing the alarm. Frenchella, internet, do it better. Made from pure chocolate, dipped in vanilla. Caught up in the rain, under your umbrella. Always rock the house from the roof to the cellar. Yeah, that's why I gotta tune in. When you're on camera, I hope they zoom in. So many shows only let the fools in. Out my mind, they evicted so you can move in. Cause real, recognize real. Always turned up, so lay back and just chill. Ain't thinking about drama, ain't thinking about bills.
A natural high.
No reason, no pills. Just you, baby.
Real, recognize it, real.
Real.
Nice.
Real, y'all.
You should have let me spit on that.
Welcome
Nice.
to the Real Recognize Real Talk Radio Show. I am the host for this evening. My name is Lynette, for those of you who don't know, and I got a dynamic, fantastic special co-host this evening. His name is Stacy Dowling. Welcome back. Thank you for helping me hold it down tonight.
No problem. Happy to be here, Lynette. Happy to be here with the Real Recognized Real Radio Show. We're going to have a good time. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping me do what we do. Happy birthday to Franchella. Happy 60th birthday to Franchella. I could not let the day go by without wishing you a very, very, very happy 60th. 60 where? Hello? Go shorty. It's your birthday. You in Dubai, so party like it's your birthday.
Nice.
I already know you will. So shout out to all the June birthdays. Shout out to my sister whose birthday is coming up on June 27th. Shout out to my godson, John. Happy birthday, John, whose birthday is coming up to the end of this month. And happy graduation, because it's a lot of graduates. So shout out to all of 2020 class of 2024.
That's right. I want to give a special shout out to my son, my youngest son, Savion. He graduated from the city school from the 8th grade. He is now going to Roman Catholic. He's now a senior, a high school student going to the 9th grade. So congratulations, Save. I'm proud of you, big boy.
Congratulations to all of the class of 2024. My friends, my family, all of y'all. My goddaughter's kids, everybody. My god kids, shout out to
Tristan. Shout out. Make it happen.
Tristan, I'm proud of you.
Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. That's what it's about. That's right.
Absolutely. So thank y'all for tuning in to the Real Recognize Real Talk Radio Show. We got some amazing guests that's going to come on a little later, but first we have to start with a little hood news. Or should I get into my announcement? Let me get into
the announcements first.
Because I might forget. So let me put on my extra eyes. As we age,
I have mine on the side.
As we age, our eyes with us.
That's right.
So June the 17th. I definitely want y'all to support June the 17th. It's a 2-week long youth summer basketball program put on by the Learn Nonprofit Center as well as Kofa Christian Sports. Shout out to Stan, brother Stan. He's doing it at the Martin Luther King Rec Center, and the tickets are $25. It's a registration fee of $25. It's for youth the ages of 8 to 14, boys and girls, because yes, girls can hoop too.
That's right.
So it's a co-ed experience where you learn different basketball drills and you'll actually get in the game as well.
Good.
So if you want tickets or you know a youth age 8 to 14, have them call Stan. We'll have their parent call Stan at 267-819-6682.
Good.
Brother Stan, 267-819-6682. It's
good.
at the Martin Luther King Rec Center in North Philadelphia. $25 registration fee. It starts June the 17th. So that's this Monday coming up.
Now I have a question. You said $25 registration fee.
Yes.
Is there also a weekly fee involved, or is that it for the entire 2 weeks?
That's it for the whole 2 weeks. And they get food, they get basketball skills and drills, they get different prizes, they get the uniforms and everything.
Wow.
So everything is all included.
Wow,
so
nice.
It's actually a good opportunity. So I'm popping through there a few days as well to help out. So June the 22nd, we have a Family Super Saturday going on. It's open to the community. It's at 1919 Meadery Avenue at the 19144 zip code. It's put on by Ade. They asked me to be one of the speakers. So I'm going to be there talking about one of my favorite topics, self-love.
Nice.
Good. So important.
Good.
It's so important. So if you are in the area, June the 22nd, come out to Family Super Saturday. They're going to have food, music, and different workshops. So I'm not the only speaker. It's going to be other dynamic speakers there as well. So make sure y'all come out. My piece will be at 11 o'clock.
Okay,
so
nice.
Come and find out more about self-love. 1919 Meadery in Germantown area. And lastly, August the 17th. Mark your calendars. This is huge. August the 17th, we're going to have a with the nonprofit center, the Learn Center, we're going to have a white party, an all-white party at the Ethical Society Ballroom in Rittenhouse Square downtown, y'all. So make sure y'all come out August the 17th. It's from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. And the tickets are $40 for general admission. That includes food. And then for VIP, it's $60 a person. And then that includes food and open bar. So it is our Youth and Adult Empowerment Symposium. So shout out to Rick Watson, who is we're working in collaboration with him on that event, August 17th. I'm going to post all of this on after the show, so you'll have it on our social media page. I'll post to that. And the tickets for that is also on Eventbrite. So make sure that you purchase tickets, because it's a party with a purpose, and we're y'all all white, y'all all
nice. You know, I realize there are a lot of things going on. You know, there are a lot of things going on. You just kind of have to plug in and pay attention to the people that put those things on. And it's nice that you post those on your Facebook page, because a lot of times, you know, people are looking for things to do. So that's good. So be on the lookout for
this summer. And the summer, you know, you want to get youth, and everybody just wants to get into positive things. And we're not all shoot them up, bang, bang. You know, everything.
Most of us aren't. That's right.
And most of us are not. So, you know, we want to expose that.
That's right. Good.
And celebrate it. All right. So back to hood news. So I want to say a Dune Day. I went to a Dune Day on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Sunday. So I went to a Dune Day on Sunday. It was like a whole week long.
Yeah.
But it was jam-packed. You're absolutely right. It was jam-packed. I particularly, I like crowds. I kind of like the hoopla and the camaraderie and stuff like that. But it was like sardine type.
You know what? I don't really care. I'll say this though, Nat, and we spoke about it. I like the fact that it was super packed. And I like the fact where it's housed, because that's where it started, and I wanted to remain there. So I think, if anything, if it continues to be attended the way that it is, stretch it out a little bit. Maybe
they want to have to, because it's getting bigger and bigger.
And that's fine. That's fine. You know, because it's a city event. People travel all over to attend that. You know, so let it remain where it is. And if it grows, it grows. But again, instead of going from 20th Street, maybe started at 15th Street or Broad Street or something, stretch it out so that more people can attend. Right. More people can attend, and you keep it there.
And it also depends on the performer. So shout out to Drew Hill. Hey,
right. You made it there. Did you saw Drew Hill?
Of course I did. I was not going to miss my boys for nothing. I saw your video. And I squeezed and wormed my way. Excuse me.
right. That's good. That's good.
Shout out to Arrows. I ran into Arrows, somebody that I knew from Westchester. He's still looking fine. But shout out to Arrows, and shout out to my acting husband. You know who you are. Acting husband, somebody that I was on stage with, Derek. Shout out to you, Derek. We always running into each other. So it was an amazing time. Good. So shout out to everybody, to all of the organizers.
That's right. And also shout out to the city. Hopefully the city will take a look at the way that this was represented and the way that it came off and help it out. You know, we need more of those types of festivals. You know, you should in North Philly, we had the Celebration of Life that was on Diamond Street.
I remember that.
It went from 17th to like 20th. It was great. That was our event, but something happened after a while and it fell off.
And Unity Day was another
Unity Day was on the Parkway. Yep. They screwed that up when they moved it to Penn's Landing.
Right.
And it fell off. So hopefully the city, and the current mayor, Sherelle Parker, she is familiar with the Ork Avenue. They had the Ogon Avenue event up there. So I'm saying she's aware of the jazz, right? She's aware that those types of events, how successful they are, and how they help spur small businesses.
The economy, right? And the economy, they help the economy. And I was so glad, so proud of us, because we, as although there was a whole lot of us together, and people think that we can't survive in that environment without some kind of drama or toxicity. You know, I'm glad that there was no incidents. At least I didn't hear about anything on the news. So kudos.
And the good thing about that is that that event is not a kid event. You know, that event is attended by everyone because it's so old, it's been here so long, and it has a reputation of being a positive event. So I'm sure that helps. You know, I'm sure that helps. So yeah, shout out to the city and the organizers. I think that it was great.
I did as well. And shout out to Drew Hill.
Nice. Yeah, it was wonderful. So what is the next festival? What's the next one coming up? Are you know?
It's probably the 4th of July festival.
That's on the Parkway, right?
On the Parkway with Neo and Kesha.
Oh, that's gonna be a big one.
That's
gonna be a big one. Okay. Oh, that's the Welcome to America. Is that what that
Welcome to America with Wawa.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a big one. Well, I guess is that with the one that was supposed to have replaced the Unity
talking about with Jay-Z.
Okay. I mean,
they have this every year.
Right. I mean, was the plan for that to have been the one to replace Unity Day, or it was just two separate?
Not that I'm aware of. I think it's been going on for years.
It's been going for a while. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's just in addition to.
Yeah, we need those.
Right. So, in other news, how do you feel before we bring our guest on? In other news, how do you feel about what's trending now with Donald Trump and,
my
34 indictments?
My buddy.
and you go to jail? Do you go to jail, or do you become the president of the United States as a convicted felon or an alleged, whatever y'all want to say?
Right.
Anyway.
Well, you know what, Nat?
How does this happen in America?
I'm glad that he was found guilty. It was deserved because he's been escaping the law all his life. But based on, whether he should still be able to become president is a different conversation totally, because when you look at the requirements to become president of the United States, it's 35 years of age and native born in the United States. If you meet that, you can do it. So I don't have a problem with him still being able to run for office. Now, do I think that it's a shame that with what he have been convicted of, and convicted of 34, but he has about another 40 or so pending charges. So it's a shame that he could possibly win with that current status, but I don't have a problem with the fact that he could run. I don't have a problem with that. Well, what do you think?
Interesting. So you don't have a problem with him or anybody for that matter running as a convicted felon?
Correct. I don't.
Interesting.
Why do you have a problem with that? Why do you think that's wrong?
Because I don't think that is representative of the type of person that you want in office. And not that people can't make mistakes and change their life.
There you go.
That they can't.
Right.
But however, there's usually some type of transitional point of time, a span of time that allows you to actually transition.
See,
and show some type of change. But if yesterday your actions and behaviors are a certain way, then you still the same person.
But I think that it's up to the voters, though, to determine to make that determination. Okay,
absolutely.
So again, the fact that he could run is one thing. Yeah, you should be able to run with a record. We know how the records have been used for years to lock us out of certain situations. So I don't have a problem with the fact that him running. But again, I think it's up to the voters to say, based on what he was found guilty of, I don't want him to represent me. So again, should he be able to run? I don't have a problem with that. But it's a shame that there's still 70 so million people in these United States that will vote for him with all of the nonsense that he's been doing all of his life.
Absolutely.
That's the problem.
Exactly. Now I'm all for reform.
Correct.
And people can change. I always say that I know people can change because I've changed.
Absolutely.
And anybody can change. But if you are still that person, then you're still saying the same things, and out of the mouth flows the heart. So to me, it doesn't show progress. It shows that you are who you are, and you're going to be who you're going to be until you make a conscious decision to think, to say to yourself, this is wrong. My way of thinking can be challenged and needs to be challenged, or my behaviors need to be challenged. So,
but I think with that though, it's a slippery slope. Then, how much time should elapse before a person was found guilty before they could run? Is it 10 years?
Well, no, the time is not what matters. The observation of the change behavior.
You want to see remorse.
Is what matters.
So you want to hear her. So if he were to get on,
you know how they say, be the change or see the change. You want to see the change to know that the change occurred. If you don't see the change, there is none.
So my question to you then, if he gave a speech tomorrow and he said, you know what, I was found guilty, I'm sorry, what would your thoughts be then?
I would do like this.
I mean,
but Oscar goes too.
Right. I mean, but again, I just think that I think the way that it's set up, that it's fine. I don't have a problem with it because it's up to the voters to take a look at that person that's running.
You know what? And
make that determination.
That's absolutely 100% true. And it's always up to the voters because of how that process works. But it's the same thing in the court of law. It's up to the jurors too. And sometimes they don't always get it right either.
I think in this instance they got it right. They were right on this one.
Oh no, in this instance, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. But again, I think the bigger issue that we have now, like I said, is the fact that with everything that this man has done to this country and to these people, and threatening judges and wanting to be a dictator, with all of those issues, the fact that you could have this many people still support him, that is the bigger problem. That is a problem.
Absolutely. And you know what it has done for at least me and a whole lot of people, I think, but at least me, it has shown how prevalent and real racism still exists.
Absolutely.
In 2024, because let's be real. This is the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So put it out there.
Put Barack Obama
Mm-hmm.
in the shoes
Yeah.
of Donald Trump.
It would have never happened.
Let him go on TV and say what Donald Trump's saying. Just put his face up there and have somebody put Donald Trump's words coming out of Barack Obama's mouth. I think that is the only way that some people will see the wrong in something.
I agree. You know, it's funny. I agree with you 100%, Lynette. And I think that, but unfortunately, Lynette, this that we're dealing with now is different. You know, this stranglehold that Donald Trump has on his supporters is different.
Because
no matter what,
like him, the only way
I mean, but no, not that.
The only way you can support him is if you have people that actually think the same way that you do.
I agree, but my point is that this situation that we're in now, I don't think that it's only about the way you think. I don't think it's about the way you think. I think this stranglehold is different. This is cult-like. This is cult-like. So this is not only about.
But it starts here. The way you get people to follow you is they have to believe in what it is that you're saying.
Correct.
So it starts here.
Right.
This right here is what helps to create the cult.
Yeah. True. Yeah, but this is a bigger problem. So I don't think that even if Donald Trump were to say something egregious, even more egregious than what he's currently been saying, in this instance, it's not going to make a difference because these people have drank the Kool-Aid and will follow him anywhere. That's right. They will follow him anywhere. As he said before he ran, and he must know people's hearts. He said, I can stand in the middle of the street and shoot someone and get away with it. And he's showing now that there are some people that will follow him even if he were to do that. Absolutely. which is unbelievable.
Unfortunately true and
unbelievable.
Sad. It's unfortunately
it is sad, right?
And sad.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and I don't know what's going to break this. I don't know what's going to pull us out of this situation that we're in now as it relates to. Say it again.
You riling up some people in the comments.
Really, I can't see it.
So Franchella, she's
on. Hey, Franchella.
Happy birthday, Queen.
Happy birthday. Yes. Enjoy.
So she wants to know, are you voting for Trump? Stacey just likes to play devil's advocate.
No. Remember,
he likes to.
No, I'm not playing devil advocate.
But this makes for a good dialogue.
No. Maybe I said something wrong.
No.
I'm not a supporter.
Hold on, answer the question.
No, I'm about to.
All right.
I'm in no way a Trump supporter at all. My point is that.
Are you voting? The question was, are you voting for Donald?
No, if I'm not a supporter, why would I vote for him? You know,
Franchella was going to kick you off the show.
hit the delete button. No, I'm not a supporter of him at all. You know, now if she's talking about the fact that I said that I think that he should be able to run, I don't have a problem with him being able to run. Absolutely. Because if you're going to change that, then change the rules that govern who can run for president. But I'm all about, you know, if the law currently exists and he meets the qualifications to run, then let him run. But no, by no means am I a supporter of his at all. I think he's terrible. I think he's terrible. He's not a bright person. I don't think he's done anything for the country that was worth giving him another 4 years at all. But what I was going where I was going with it is that the stranglehold that he has on this country now is not going to break until he's gone. And, you know, he has to be away. You know, we need to win this election and then he'll fade, but that's going to be the only way.
So do y'all think that he's going to prison? So chime in. Shout out to Scarfo, Mom, Franchella, Tony. Thank you y'all for always tuning it down. Y'all on vacation and still rocking out with us. I love it. I love it. Scarfo, happy belated birthday. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, there we go. I see this. I see the comments now. So the question is, so let me ask you this then. Do you think he's going to go to prison? What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely not.
Why not? Why
I think that they will probably give him probation and community service. Mm-hmm. And I say that because sometimes it's money. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the skin color. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a such thing as privilege, and I don't care what nobody say. It is so true. But like I said, I wish if there's any editors out there that know how to do illustrations and stuff, just kind of test my theory. Put Barack Obama's picture up and have his mouth moving, saying whatever Trump says out of his mouth, and see what the comments is going to say underneath that. See what people are going to really say and how they're going to actually look at it as what it really is, as opposed to,
right, the blinders,
blinders, right? A lot of times some people get passes, whereas other people are more under the microscope and scrutinized, like what they're trying to do with Biden's son right now, to kind of take the spotlight off of the real, but
and now oddly enough, on one of the late night shows, wait, is the guest up here? Are we ready yet?
I don't see Regina Latrice, so we can go on.
Okay.
We can go on. So.
One of the late night hosts.
If she tried to reach out. I'm
okay. One of the late night hosts did an experiment exactly like that, Lynette. I forget which one it was, but he read some speeches. He went to one of the rallies, one of the Trump rallies. He read a speech from Trump and told the attendee that it was a speech by Biden. The Trump supporter said, "This is terrible. I'm not surprised. Biden is this, Biden is that. I'm not surprised he would say such a terrible thing." And then the host said, "Oh, I made a mistake. These words actually came from Trump." That person stood there and changed their position,
whole narrative
in 2 minutes.
Of course.
In 2 minutes. Oh, well, he probably didn't mean it that way, or it's not as bad as I thought. That's why I said, Lynette, this situation that we're in now, this is different. This is not about policies. They don't even have a platform.
No.
They don't have a platform. This is not about politics. This is different. This is different.
It's about money to me and race. But not so much as race, because Biden is the same race.
Correct.
So, so it's more about money and the mindset. The mindset.
Yeah.
It's so sad. But on to other news, so vote is important. I know y'all, some people don't say I'm not voting because it's not going to make a difference. Well, when you don't vote.
That's right.
It's a vote against who you don't want in office.
Correct.
Well,
correct. Look at the Supreme Court. Look at the Supreme Court. They're stripping away rights as we speak. Women losing rights left and right. They're scaling back rights on voting. So you don't vote. Continue to not vote. So what is the next topic then? What was it?
So
I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. This is your show too tonight. We won't be talking. I told you talk because you already know. I'm like,
yes, you are. Machine gun net.
But anyway, I don't know whether Diddy is old news. Diddy is in the old news now, I guess, but they still. Go ahead.
Well, what are your thoughts on that, though? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's so unfortunate that some people just go a little too far.
Meaning Diddy?
No, people, because he's not the only one. Trust me. He's not the only one in that lifestyle that has taken it to another level just because they can.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just because you can doesn't make it right, doesn't make it okay. So our moral compasses are so messed up sometimes. Some people, sometimes we don't understand how life works and how people works. And we, they say hurt people or damaged people, broken people break other people. They try to break other people. And it's just so unfair to people who actually have genuine hearts and good intentions to run into people who have ulterior motives.
Right. Now, and let me get this out.
Like me, for example. Like, no, go ahead.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
You ready to Diddy somebody? No, never mind.
No, I'm on the other end of that.
Oh, okay. Now, I'll say this. The problem that I have, I think where he went wrong, or what I disagree with as far as Diddy's actions, was the violence. Hitting someone, beating up on someone. But if he wants to have a freak party, with a bunch of adults in a mansion somewhere, I don't have a problem with that. You know, live your life. Right. You know what I mean? If they want to be, if someone wants to be in that type of lifestyle, I don't have a problem with that. You know, that it's a free society, but I think he crossed the line, especially with the video that they showed with him hitting the singer. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Right. But as far as all of those other issues that came up, you know, him threesomes and all of that other kind of stuff, that's up to him.
Well, I agree and disagree. It's you know, what you do in your bedroom is your business.
Absolutely.
However, when age is involved, it becomes
that's different.
It becomes everybody's business. So
right.
if you got minors in there, or you drugging people to have them do favors when they incapacitated or they not in the right state of mind, that's when you go too far.
Agreed.
You know, that's the part that goes too far. Okay, you want to have threesomes, four
with adults, that's up to you.
You want bestiality, whatever turns you on in your bedroom is what turns you on in your bedroom. However, when that's what I mean about the moral compass part. Right. So it's like, okay, but why do you have to have a minor, or why do you have to drug this person? Right. Let them say, all right, yeah, I'm about that life. What's up? Yeah. You know, don't be like.
Right, Darlene, consenting adults, and that's my point.
Adults,
what they want to do, that's up to them. Correct. I mean, and we know
we do have one of our guests on, so we're gonna wrap it up. But I'm gonna let you say what you want to say.
Oh, I was just gonna kind of echo with what Darlene said, and that goes back to what I said initially. That what consenting adults want to do, whatever it is, as long as they're not hurting other people, breaking the law, or as you said, involving minors. That's up to you. That's your lifestyle. You know, I don't have a problem with that, but I think he crossed the line. And then that video, you can't unsee that video when he was dragging the girl around. You can't unsee that. So, and I think that he's gonna pay a price for that. Women aren't gonna let him live that down. But then I know we have the guest coming up. But then my question is, are we gonna also stop listening to his music like we did
Kelly?
Right. So we can address that later. All right. Somebody answer that in the chat. But go ahead. We have the next guest up.
So we have our guest, TL Terry. We're gonna bring him right on up.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
TL, what's up, man?
What's up?
What's going on?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. Hey, Stacy, man, I see you getting the fever. We might have to get that thing back.
I'm about to mention
that thing back.
It comes back, man. It comes back, man.
So welcome to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Let me give you a proper introduction as soon as I put my eyes back on.
Darlene said, hey, Mr. Little.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
So Terry T.
Hey, Lynette, before we get started.
Go ahead.
Hey, let me put my bid in. You might need 2 more co-hosts. You know what I mean?
I know that's right. You heard that?
You know what I'm saying?
We need some testosterone around here.
I don't know if this were to continue. I don't know if Lynette will be able to handle it. You know, but
you already know. Okay?
Actually,
I don't know you can handle it. Okay?
Look at her. She like this. She ready?
I'm sure that Francine will be saying something shortly.
It makes for a good show.
Agreed.
So, now let me introduce you properly. Terry TL Little, host of the Real Brothers Live, a podcast show, and he also had an apparel line in line with the Real Brothers Live. He also works for one of the largest IT companies in the world, and he refers to himself as a normal guy, a real brother, not fake. We need more of you out here. We need more.
That's right.
Real Recognize Real. So he's quite the thinker, and he and Stacy were co-hosts alongside of each other on the Real Brothers Live podcast, which I hope they bring back because
that ain't just my co-host, that's my brother.
That's right. It's seventh grade. Seventh grade. We go back. 7th grade.
That's such a blessing, you know, because I don't know where my 7th grade friends are.
Really? It's a whole group
Shout
of us.
out to y'all watching. You know, we need a reunion or something.
That's right. Yep. Start the group.
So they have very interesting viewpoints, and we're gonna talk about some of those viewpoints now. It's a very thought-provoking show, and like I said, I hope y'all bring it back. And
you were on it once, remember?
We can talk to Francella.
Yeah,
to see if we can do more of these. You know,
Make it happen.
We can definitely get it. Yeah, I mean, get it popping. That's yeah.
Welcome back to the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio Show, both of you.
Good to see you, TL.
How have you been? What's been going on in your world?
Hey, I've been since we stopped the podcast. You know, I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Went through. Life and crazy. But you know what I'm saying? It's starting to get good. You know, life is starting to get good again. I went through a whole divorce and all that, and you know.
Sorry to hear that.
But now, you know, things are starting to level out. Getting my bread back together. You know what I mean? So, you know, things are starting to go in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Well, you don't look like what you've been through. So
you know what? Sometimes God take everything from you so he can rebuild.
That's right.
So you can rebuild, you know what I mean? Get out of being stagnant and you know what I'm saying, you know, and then it's time to rebuild. So that's what I've been doing.
That's right. They say sometimes things fall apart so better things can come together.
That's for sure. Like, that's for sure.
And sometimes going through it, you don't see it. But when you come out on your other side of through, you look back at it and say, you know what? This was for my good. You know,
that's where I'm at right now.
Now, Darlene said, and to get your attention. Now, I'm curious what she means by that. I mean, I think I have an idea of what she's talking about.
But please explain, Mom. That's my mom.
Yeah. Oh, that's the lessons and the blessings. The lessons and the blessings.
Yeah, I think she means the lessons. So
the lessons,
I mean, whatever it is that you went through is trying to teach you something or get your attention about something that
now that's what I thought. Right. I need you to see something, you know, get your attention, you know. So
sometimes we you know, when things are going what we consider well, you know, we lose focus.
That's right.
On what our mission is, and we lose focus on, you know, the God that's inside of us. You know what I mean? Because everything's good. Why, you know, and we forget
I'm cool. Right.
Right. We forget to say thank you. You know what I mean? And then once you go through certain things, hey, he got a way of making you say thank you all the time. You know what I mean? Like you appreciate the small stuff.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You know, as opposed to just the big stuff in your life. So I'm at the point where I appreciate everything now.
I say God is the ultimate humbler.
Absolutely.
And you never want him to humble you because you will be on your knees.
I mean, but I have a question then. I have a question, Mike. So when you were going through what you were going through, you know, when you talk about, as Lynette just said, the humbler, what clicked? What made you turn and say, oh, wait a minute, this is what I'm supposed to be looking at? What caused that? You know, was it an event or was it just in your quietness, in your solitude? Did your mindset just change?
Yeah, it was an event. Like, you know, when my ex left me, it was, you know the story,
right?
But it was out of, like, to me, it was out of nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? It took me by surprise, right?
Right.
And you know, I went through it just like everybody else that would be in that situation.
Right.
But then, you know, I got the trailer and I started traveling around the country just trying to find myself. It was just me and my dog, you know.
Yep.
And then,
I was gonna say,
and then somebody stole my dog. I really literally was
it's okay.
Everything had been taken from me.
You gotta do what works for you.
Right.
So at that point, you know, I went and stayed with my son for a little while till I could pull myself together, because I was like, man, I'm just out here, like, you know, just traveling for no reason, wasting a bunch of money and all that. So I was like, it's time. Like, you nigga, pull yourself together.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So once I found myself again, you know, then I was able to, like, slowly start piecing my life back together.
And you know what, Nike? Go ahead, Annette. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Annette.
One thing that we do a lot in relationships, not just in the marriage, but in relationships, we kind of pour ourselves into the person that we're either dating or married to, that we can easily lose ourselves in them. And so when something happens or the relationship doesn't go as planned, we are devastated, because it's like, what am I going to do without this person? This person was my world. This person, I invested so much of my heart, my time, my money, into this person, that we don't really see life beyond them until we get in that solitude, those solitude times. And then you say, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. Like,
right,
yes,
right.
Right. Yes, this hurts. Yes, I might miss this person. Right. Yes, I didn't really want it to go the way that it did. Right. But at the end, it made me better and not bitter.
And then somebody better might come along. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But now, I'll to kind of push back on that a little bit, though. I don't think that there's anything wrong with pouring everything into a relationship. I think that what Terry
as long as you don't lose yourself.
Correct. Or better yet, what I would say about that is, as Terry said when he first came on, don't forget where the focus should be. You could pour everything into a relationship like you would a kid, but you still know the center of all of that is still the higher being, your God. Everything still is it comes from that. So even with that person or those things that you have with you, still saying thank you on a regular basis for the blessings that you have. Because a blessing could be a person.
Absolutely.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with putting your all into a person, but you still have to realize what's truly important. And it's not those things,
And you have to also know that you are just as important too. That's what I'm saying. Don't give it all. I mean, I think there's something wrong with somebody who's giving me all of them and don't have nothing left for themselves. You matter too. You're just as important too. Your happiness is just as important to me. And I'm the type of person, I'm not even going to allow you to give me all you. I want all of you in terms of, I don't want you messing around. I don't mean that in that aspect. I want all of you, but I don't want you to give me so much that you have nothing left for yourself, because then it's going to detract from your happiness.
But were you about to say something, Terry?
Well, I was just getting ready to say, like, I just had to, with me personally, I just had to realize who I am. Like, man,
that's my
I'm lowercase G-O-D. Notice I said lowercase. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, but I think that as long as you're living. Oh, go ahead, TL.
No, that's what I want to say. Like, just the fact that sometimes you forget who you are. You know what I mean?
And
like when
there you go.
Stuff. And then I had to realize, like, nigga, I'm that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done did this for so many years. Like, I've always took care of, my story, Stace. I've always took care of me. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was gonna say. I think that as long as you're living and you're still growing, you're constantly bringing on more. So it's impossible. I think that it's impossible for a growing person that's still experiencing life to give everything away. Because if you give 90%, when you go out the door, if you're soaking in life the way we're supposed to be, you're recharging every day.
Right.
So you're always.
But that 50% is a motherfucker though. That 50% ain't that shit ain't no joke.
Well, correct. I think a bigger problem might be giving your all to someone that does something that doesn't deserve it, or takes it and does something wrong with it, or uses it to hurt you. That's the difference. That's the difference, But
you gotta know the difference, because sometimes you don't see the wolf in sheep clothing. Sometimes you don't see that, or you overlook it because you thinking that here we go with the peeking again.
Right.
You see what you want to see, and not what's actually there. So, but anyway, sometimes you do go through hard times to get to better ones.
Absolutely.
And you learn and you grow from them. So I'm glad, brother, that you are on the other side of your through. I want to pose a question to the both of you. Mm-hmm. Something I was on Instagram and I saw two sayings on there, and it ties into relationships. And it was excellent quote, and I was like, "Woo, that was good." So we're talking about love and unconditional love. So everybody's definition of unconditional love may be different from one another's. So I'm just going to ask you something he mentioned. He said unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. This was so profound because a lot of people, they say, well, if you love me, you would stay. Or if you love me, you would do this. Or, love is unconditional. It's not, tied with strings. But does it mean that you have to be, there also has to go hand in hand with unconditional tolerance? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead, Knight.
Well, me personally, I don't believe that there's anything that exists called unconditional love. Everything has a condition attached to it, love included. You know what I mean? You can love somebody and accept their faults, but unconditional, I mean, yeah, that.
Well, what about your kids, though? Do you love your kids unconditionally? Now, it goes back to what the question Lynette mentioned. You can love your kids unconditionally, but you won't accept everything. But
that's the same. That's what I'm saying. I love my kids, but like I said, unconditionally is is like a misnomer. You know what I mean? Like you have to have some sort of respect or some sort of social interaction or social agreement in order to maintain that love, right?
Right.
Love is a thing that goes both ways. You can't treat me like shit and then still expect me to love you. You know what I mean? So that's why I say
I can still love you, but guess what? I can still love you. Could treat me like shit and I can still love you, but guess what? I believe that forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It does not mean that I have to stay with you. I can still love you from a distance.
Forgiveness is for you.
God love.
Right. Forgiveness is for you.
That's what, to me, that's what unconditional is. It's having that God kind of love. I love a whole lot of people that I ain't with no more.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, it doesn't mean, so unconditional tolerance is what is like, no, don't expect me to just, you want to treat me any old kind of way. And I'm just supposed to be, I'm going to stay because I love you. Hey, no, I love me. Actually, I love you.
You could also argue that the other side and say that if you love someone, part of that love means to correct them. Using your kids as an example. If you love your kids, you're going to correct them. When they do something wrong, you're going to deal with it. Because if you let them continue to put their hand on the stove to the point that they're ready to burn their body up, then you don't love them. So unconditional love also means, like you said, TL, it also means respect and correcting. So I agree. I don't think that unconditional love means or equals.
But if you got a kid that keep putting their hands on the stove, you might be a little retarded. Oh, I know you can't use that word anymore. But, you know what I mean? You might have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people got to learn the hard way.
Some people got to learn the hard way.
You lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So it's like I told you 1,000 times, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, do this, do this, do this. If you still choose to do this, then you make your bed, you got to lie in it.
Correct.
But it doesn't mean that you don't have to still love them, but you just don't have to tolerate it. That's
Correct.
my thing.
Correct.
You have to tolerate it.
And then when you talk about forgiving a person, but still people that are around you that you love, that you forgave, but you're still not with them, forgiving is what you do for you.
Absolutely.
Forgiving, the act of forgiving is you saying, okay, you know what? I'm no longer going to spend sleepless nights thinking about what we've gone through. I forgave you because I'm going to move on.
Forgiveness don't have nothing to do with love, though. Forgiveness is not for them because they don't care if you forgive them or not. Forgiveness is for your internal peace.
That's right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting. What else you got there over there?
I was loving it. So that shout out to Cool Josh because he's the one who posted that on Instagram. So I also was watching this guy's named Ace Metaphor. They have a show called Tonight's Conversation on Instagram. Y'all should check it out because they really profound. Every person that speaks on there, they make you think. And so he was talking about being single and how some people think, oh, it's such a bad thing, it's a curse. And he was saying, or it's something wrong with you. So he was saying how maybe it's something right with you that you don't settle and you want to wait for that right person. So he was saying, one of the things that he said is, he said, give me a better reason to choose you also. Meaning when a person is single and people keep saying, well, why are you single? Or why are you not with somebody? You this, or you look like this, or you have this and all of that. They put it into tangible material things. But what he's saying is sometimes it doesn't mean that it's something wrong with you. Sometimes it means that it's something right with you.
Absolutely.
Because you decided to not settle, not put up with whatever it is that caused you to be single in the first place. And so he was basically saying it's more like saying, if a person gives me a reason to choose them also, then I will choose them also.
Absolutely. I agree. So, I agree. And I agree with that. And I think that, you know, even in being single, a lot of times it's just that it's and it should be, because I think that when you talk about earlier, you're talking about, you know, peeping out through the peepers, you have to be discerning. You have to really pay attention to the person. You have to get to know them. Like you said, there's no such thing as perfection. So but you want to know what those issues may be that you might not be able to change, you know. And that's not to say that the person won't change slightly, but they're not going to change their whole being. So you have to really get to know the person to say, okay, those things that I don't think are the greatest, can I tolerate them? That takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. That's truly getting to know a person.
And then even when you've been in a relationship like I was for a long time, like we broke up on our 25th anniversary. So that's 25 years, right? But the thing is, like, sometimes even when you think you with the person that you're going to be with, like, you know, sometimes people, they grow apart. You know, it's all kind of explanations, like, you know, and you just have to kind of accept the lot in life. You know what I mean?
What does that mean? Like, I hear a lot of people say, oh, we just grew apart. What does that mean to you?
She left. She was like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm done.
But for the viewers, like, all right, so I'm trying to put a little meat in the potatoes. So like some people that grow apart, they might say, okay, well, when I met this person, he liked the club and I like the club, and now they Christian. Now they have decided to be a Christian, and now they want me to change my ways and get out of the club. And so then they say, okay, well, we grew apart like that. So I just
to be honest, even today, I really can't answer like from her end, because like, you know, she left. So I really can't answer that. I know people sometimes might hear that and say, nigga, that's bullshit. You was either cheating on her, beating on her, or whatever. But I can assure everybody, like Stace know me. You know what I mean? He knows my character. Like, it's just too, and I don't wish her no harm. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? I hope she does whatever she wants. You know, I hope she has success or whatever she tries to do in life. But like,
y'all never had a conversation after, like, you know, what happened, and you know, no. Okay, that's one of the worst kind of breakups.
Because I racked my brains out for a little while. Like, man, like, the situation just didn't really. I don't know. It didn't add up. We didn't get a chance to communicate or anything. So,
well, I mean, you know, but you know, though, what was the last thing you were about to say, Tim?
I was about to say, sometimes sometimes things just don't have a reason. It's just
but I also think, though, especially when we talk about being in your solitude, I think that a part of the growth process is to take a sit back in that quiet time and take that critical look at yourself. You know, you might not be able to say this is the reason why, but we all can say this is the role that I played, or the possible role that I played in the downfall.
Right.
You know, I think that that's very important because that's a part of the learning process, so that now you grew a little bit to say, okay, if I have this chance again, I'll try to avoid that.
But if you can't communicate with the person that left you, you never get an understanding of like.
See, but again, like, but I think
sometimes it don't have to be you. Sometimes it really don't have to be you. And not that I don't make mistakes, but I really, really, really try hard to make relationships work, and that don't work out. And that's sometimes it's not the person. It's just that maybe the other person heart was somewhere else, or maybe that other person wasn't used to the type of person that you are. You know, maybe they was used to arguing all the time, and you are peace. You know, like so. Sometimes it's not the person that gets left is the challenge. Sometimes it's the other person might just say, I met somebody else that I find, you know, more interesting, or sometimes it's not always you. So I don't want to paint the picture. Now you can say, okay, what can I do different?
And that's my point
in my next relationship, but not so much as to what I did wrong. Like,
right, but I thought at the time I thought I was, you know, I thought, and I could be wrong, but you know, you can only see from your own self-perception.
Correct,
right?
Correct.
And
I think that. Okay, go ahead, Tia.
No, I was just saying that I just think that, you know, even though I may not have seen what my part in, you know, us breaking up or whatever, her leaving, that doesn't mean that I didn't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? And I understand that part.
Correct.
But the thing is, without actually having some way to communicate with her, to be like, man, what, you know, what happened? Like, what, you know, I will never know. And I just not recently, but the last, you know, year or so, I've been okay with that. It's just the fact that I'll never know, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's the possibility.
That you know what I mean? And because while you going through it, you weigh in like every little option. Like, what happened here? What happened there? What was this? What was that? What was that? You know, maybe she just got tired of me. You know what I mean? That happens too, you know?
Right.
And what I was about to say is that the exercise that you just did, what you just explained is what I was going to say. Again, I think, you know, it's all about personal growth. So it's more important, I think, to take a look at yourself. You might never find out the reason, and that's fine.
And I'm good.
And you're good with that, right?
Yeah.
Because again,
that water is under the bridge.
It's under the bridge, and you can't control other people. So don't even worry about that. I think what's more important is as I call teachable moments. To sit back and say, okay, again, what did I do? You know, what fault did I do? And when you talk about no. I said what I meant. I said what I meant.
Not what
faults? No, Lynette, let me finish. What fault or what? No. See, what was
See what I got to deal with?
I see. You need to break from this. I get it.
Listen, but you can't sit. Neither one of you can sit here and act as if in a relationship that you were perfect. Because you were not.
No, I never said I'm perfect.
No.
I said that. I'm not that I'm perfect.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
I'm gonna let you finish, and then you let me have the floor.
Okay, and that's fine. So again, my point is that, you know, in those quiet times, sit there and really think about those faults or those wrong things that you did. That's what I'm saying. Because in every relationship, there were things that we did wrong also.
But do you believe that in every relationship there was something that you've always done wrong?
In life,
that's not my story.
Let me answer your question.
But that's not my story.
Let me answer your question. You asked me, do I think that in every relationship I have done something wrong? Yes. But
that's not my story. So you can't create my story.
No, you asked me.
I'm telling you my story, and we're going back and forth because you're trying to get me to think like you. That's not going to happen. I'm telling you my story, just like you're telling me yours. So in every relationship that I've had, I didn't always have faults. And you can ask my exes, they probably out here watching, and they'll tell you
You were perfect.
And it's not that I'm perfect.
But here's what I take away from it, right? I like I said, when I was going through it, I racked my brain. Like it was like you ever had one of them 10,000 piece puzzles, and then you got these pieces that just don't fit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you like, fuck that puzzle. You know what I mean? And you just throw it away. That's where I'm at now. Like I don't worry about that puzzle anymore. Like I'm on to like life is good.
Now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I live by the beach. I got a nice, you know what I mean?
Good.
I got a nice young lady that I'm happy with.
Good.
So I don't even think about that. Even that's something that happened. Like I don't dwell on it because it's wasted cycles.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's no need to dwell on that because it's you can't. God gave you eyes in the front of your head, right? So you can look forward.
Correct.
If he wanted us to look backwards, he'd have gave us eyes behind our head. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
We just
At
keep
least
it
like
moving.
you said.
We just keep it moving and do the best we can.
Absolutely.
And that's worked out for me so far. You know what I mean? I just do the best that I can do. I can't worry about nobody else, or I can't worry about what this person thinks or what that person thinks.
Right.
I just had to do what's in here. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta always do what's best for you. Like, you know, none of us on the outside looking in can live your life. I always tell people that only you can live your life. So you know the best life that you want to live, and you know this. Just live the way that you want to live, and whatever makes you happy. The end goal is always happiness.
That's right.
And peace. It's always the end goal. So when people disturb that, they try to disturb that, you have to know how to move on.
That's right.
You have to know how it's not the end of the world, and you will be okay. You know, sometimes you know you fight until you can't fight no more. That's how I look at it. You fight to keep it together until you can't fight no more. It's so important. Go ahead, Steve.
And as someone said, if it doesn't kill you, and you're a testament to this, and so am I. If it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger.
That's right.
It only makes you stronger. So
I'm like Arnold out this joint now.
Nice. Good stuff, man.
It happens.
Yeah.
Stacey has went through similar.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah.
He might not
that's what I'm saying
about it, but he's been through something similar. You know, and a breakup is like a grief. It's like a grief. You go through the stages of grief, any type of loss. You go through the process and go through the stages of grief. But as long as you go through and don't get stuck in a stage of your trauma, there's hope at the end of that. There's hope at the end of that. There's better at the end of that. You just have to go through to get to, to get to your better.
Hey, and one thing.
Go ahead.
Can I just wish my oldest son happy birthday? My
son
Terrell's birthday is today.
Oh, happy birthday,
Terrell.
And where is he? Where is he, on the road somewhere?
Also, it's the anniversary of my son's death.
I'm sorry to hear
that.
Oh,
wow.
My oldest son's birthday. So that's a whole nother.
Wow.
That's probably another show.
Right.
Yeah.
My condolences to you.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Rest well.
Yeah, tell Terrell I said what's up, man.
I will. Definitely.
He's on the road.
Yeah, he on the road. Yeah.
Nice.
So y'all want to? So it's 8:02. Thank everybody for tuning in to the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio Show. Y'all know how we do. This is why I said we need some testosterone in here, because y'all know how it is when a male and a female.
Hey, make it happen. Make it happen.
I always say that arguments only come in when people try to get you to think like them. It's okay to have a difference.
Hey, look, you already got real in the title.
We have a difference of opinion. We don't even have to argue or debate about it. You're entitled to yours. I'm entitled to mine. Can we all just get along?
Let's just all get along. Can we all just get along?
That's one of my problems. I'm gonna say something. I gotta learn how to be. So Stacey, you want me to find the fault? Then you want to say that's a fault of mine? I gotta learn how to do this.
There you go. It's always something. That's all I was saying.
But look, I only said that because I knew you was going to say something. But here it is.
Teach him a moment.
About that. That's not a fault, brother.
That's growth. That's growth. That's a little bit of growth. That's a little bit of growth.
My opinion should matter just as equally as valuable as yours.
It does.
That's all I'm saying. So we were getting ready to go, but I think we got our guest that was supposed to come on earlier. If y'all could stay tuned, she's just coming on. Regina Latrice. It might be a time difference in where she is, so that might be why there was a delay. But we want to thank you, Brother Terry, for coming on. Keep moving forward. We will definitely have to have this conversation again. And you come back. Is there anything else you want to leave with our audience?
When we get our podcast back up and running, we're gonna have you on again.
Yeah,
I'm ready. Look, Stace, I'm ready.
Hey, Knight, we're gonna mute her. We're gonna mute her little thing.
This is why Stacy want a woman that don't talk back. He wants you to think like him, walk like him, talk like him. And if you don't, you wrong automatically. Ladies. Anyway, have a good night, brother. And we wish you nothing but the best. Love.
Mike, I'll be talking to you, man.
Thank you. All right, we had to chop it up, Black.
All right. Be safe. All right.
Thank you, Lynette, for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
All right.
Recognize real.
All right.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to bring up our next guest, Regina Latrice. How are you?
Hey, Regina.
Her microphone might be muted. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Own little personal summer over here. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. So thank you for joining us. So tell us where you're joining us from, because I think it might be a time difference.
It is a time difference. That was confusing. I'm coming from St. Louis, Missouri.
Ooh, St. Louis. Nice. Hey, Yolanda, my girlfriend Yolanda's out there in St. Louis. Yeah. So let me give you a proper introduction. And so y'all stay on. The show is going to keep running on. And as long as they don't cut us off, I'm going to try to hurry up. So Regina Latrice is a mother of 3, an author, and an entrepreneur. She is the author of the book Finishing Touch, A Survivor's Journey, which is a book that was written to give people hope after domestic violence. She is also the owner of Misfits Clothing Boutique LLC and is also a licensed insurance agent. She enjoys most of all serving the Lord and is grateful that through her experiences, God gave her the lens to share her story with the world. So she is here today to talk with you about her book and what inspired her to write it. So welcome, Regina, to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Welcome. Shout out to Rev Rufus and his family, Peaches, Brother Larry, his wife, and his son. So 4 words book. So shout out to them as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So Regina, where do you want to jump in as it relates to your book? The floor is yours.
Wherever you guys, I'm wherever you guys want to start. It's okay.
Tell us a little bit about your book and what inspired you to write it.
So my book, Finishing Touch, as you guys mentioned, it's a book about domestic violence. I experienced a domestic abusive relationship from the age of 13 until I was about 26 years old. I'm a mother of 3. My book is also talking about my story from when I was a little girl. So growing up from a little girl, what the things that I felt like caused me to get into such a bad relationship, and how God has really just transformed me, and how God allowed me to be free from that relationship, and how He is just transforming my life right now.
Wow, I'm sorry that you had to go through that experience.
That's
I'm glad that you came out on your other side of through, and you better and not bitter. And I'm also glad that you're sharing with the world your experience, because it has to be vulnerable to be able to do that. But that at the end goal, you're actually blessing a whole lot of people who may have experienced or who are experiencing similar situations, and giving them hope, like you said, that you can survive and you can get out and you can do better,
Something that you said, Regina, you said to talk about the qualities that were there that kind of allowed you to get in that situation. What did you mean by that? Or did I hear you wrong?
No, you were right. So a little, being a little girl, my father, I have a relationship with my father, but it was not the ideal father-daughter relationship. So I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And, as a little girl I was very vulnerable. I didn't really love myself. I didn't really know who I was. So the first person that comes along, it makes me feel a little bit special. I kind of took that and was like, this is how, at least I have someone who loves me as far as a male figure, so I felt like that was love, because I really didn't know what love really was. And I felt just a little special. I felt like someone loved me, someone paid attention to me as far as like that male figure. And I just allowed myself to get be tricked by the enemy, of course, and allow myself to get into that relationship that was not love at all. It was the total opposite of love.
It's easy to do for some people. Now I call them trauma bonds. And I call them trauma bonds because it's something that is familiar. Like you said, you had a frame of reference. Like sometimes if you're in a household and you don't get the love that you want from your mother and father, you tend to seek it outside of the home. And then sometimes if a person still treats you the same way, you're like, please love me, please look at me, please, because it's something that you're longing for, even if it's the wrong person. It happens. So it's a human thing, don't beat yourself up, because a lot of us do it without even knowing that it's actually a trauma bond, and it can be broken. And I'm glad that you actually broke it. That I commend you for that. So
now, oftentimes when people have these types of conversations, they'll say, especially people that don't quite understand, you'll hear them say, well, why didn't you leave? Can you talk to us about, you said from 13 to early 20s, what made you stay? What is that? Why was it, or did you find it difficult to, as Lynette just said, to break that, to free yourself from that and realize that, okay, you know what, this isn't love?
Right. So, like I said, I was feeling a little love. So then you get to that where you feel like, okay, this person, at least they are showing me some type of attention, some type of love. And then it's the opposite side where you get so comfortable with that. Like you're like, for me, I felt like even if it was just a little bit of love, I'll take that over not feeling that love from my father at all. And then you get into the part where the other person can manipulate and say, well, I need you, I don't, and I'm young and I'm really not understanding this. Just trying to figure out, I'm very trying to figure out my emotions and how to deal with it. But I have a good heart. My heart has always been good towards people and I want to do right by people. So then I would start feeling guilty, like, well, he does need me, and I have been here and he feels like I'm just going to leave him and I can't do him like that. So it's like, I would just sacrifice myself and my happiness and what I know I deserve just to make the other person happy.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, it really does happen more than people are willing to admit. It happens a lot when you see it's almost like you see people in relationships, and either the girl or the guy, they're treating each other so horribly, yet they're married or they're still together, and you're like, well, what is the glue that's holding them together? And I think that glue is the trauma bond. And like you said, some people are very manipulative, and they have you thinking, oh, nobody gonna love you like I love you. You ain't gonna find nobody else better than me, or you're not. So it's like a grooming process where they get you to feel low about yourself, so that now you feel like, okay, this person, I gotta hold on to this person because ain't nobody gonna love me or whatever. But it is until you actually say, hey, I matter too. Like, I want to be happy. You actually really have to look at the picture as it is and not try to paint a different stroke. Because a lot of times we do
see what you want to see.
When we have love, especially when we have love for the person. It's easy to do that. So I tell people, don't beat yourself up about having real human feelings. It is not your fault for how somebody else treated you. Now, it's your fault if you continue to allow them to treat you that way. So you eventually have to get to the point of enough, and you move on. And everybody reaches that point of enough at different times. But I'm glad you reached that point of enough before it got
escalated.
Something, either you're no longer here to tell your story, is what
exactly.
So,
I have a question then. So, and it kind of to piggyback off of what Lynette said, then, in your book, do you tell the story of how what became your enough? You know, did it just escalate to the point where you just said, okay, you know what, this is dangerous for my health? Or what was the breaking point to make you say, or what helped you to realize that, okay, you know what, I need to make a change, that this cannot sustain?
Yeah, so let me say this. We had kids, and then there was another reason that kind of kept me around. I got a broken jaw. I talk about that in my book. My jaw was broken. You know, I had to have my mouth wire shut and everything. And that was before I even got married. So that happened before I got married. But as the relation, and God was with me. That's another thing. We have to really have a relationship with God and listen to His voice and obey. I am so grateful, and I tell everyone I'm so grateful for being here and finally obeying God, because God was speaking to me multiple times through situations, through just a lot of different things, dreams and everything, and I would ignore Him. But what finally got me to the point where I was like, you know what? I am tired. I was getting tired and tired and tired. But I was, like I said, I was trying to hold on. And I didn't believe that I deserved better. I didn't believe that someone would want me, because that was what was put into my mind. I didn't believe that a man would come in and want me and my kids. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't love myself. I didn't feel like I was worthy of anything. So even though I had God in my life, it's like that voice was overriding the voice of God. So even when I finally said, this is enough, like I'm tired, nothing was going to change. And I was talking to God about it one day at work, and I kept pushing the date back for the divorce. Like, I did not want to do it. I was so afraid, because this is all I've known. I've been with this man since I was 13. We have 3 beautiful children. I didn't know anything else. So God spoke to me, and He told me that either you're going to let this die or your ministry's going to die. And I felt like that was God telling me, if you do not do this, you're not going to live to tell your story. You're not going to live to be here to see your kids. And at that point, it was I didn't think about it again. I said, whatever I have to do, I said, God, because one thing about God, as long as you obey Him, and if He gives you something to do and you say you do it in that time, you can decide when you want to obey. But God is so gracious that He allowed me to be here. I feel like if I didn't obey Him at that time, right then and there, that I wouldn't be here for my kids. And I love my kids more than anything. A man is not worth my kids. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do what God says, but what God told me to do. And he's going to be with me. I know that He's going to be with me. He's not going to tell me to leave. And I can't be afraid of what He may come back and do, because God is going to protect me. And it's been a struggle. You know, I've been divorced. It'll be 7 years in November. But when I say God has been with me and my life is so much better, we have not lacked anything. It's been a real struggle, but I have great support, and God is with me. And it just goes to show, like, when you listen to God, you cannot be afraid of this man, you know, trying to threaten you and say what he's going to do. God is powerful, and God would not allow him to come in and do anything or harm me and my children. So that's kind of what made me say, you know what, this is it.
That's great.
Good for you.
That's good. And like Lynette said, you know, there are a lot of people that go through these types of instances, and for whatever reason, you know, they have their different reasons why they feel that they can't leave. But like you said, it's really important to listen to that voice, or, you know, your God, or, you know, hear people that are around you that might be trying to give you little hints, you know. But if you don't pay attention to those things, especially, you know, something inside of you, like you said, was telling you that this isn't right, you know, that voice in your head, like that comes from somewhere, that originated from somewhere, that's God itself. So the fact that you were able to listen to that voice and ultimately act on it, that takes courage, you know.
It does. It's more, a lot of people think that it's a weakness, but it's actually a strength. It takes a strong person to be able to walk away from somebody when their feelings are still there, when you still have love for the person, and still be able to walk away. That takes strength. It's not a weakness. And, you know, we have to rethink and retrain our brains on the way that we think sometimes about traumas and the dramas and stuff that we experience in life, and so that we learn from them and don't take out what we've been through on other people, you know, because sometimes you can be guarded. And I'm going to tell you to make sure that you know that everybody is not the same. All men are not the same. All people are not the same. You can love again, and you can find someone who will treat you like the queen that you deserve to be treated. Now you know what you don't want. Don't settle for anything less than that.
That's right.
Because if you do, you will not be happy. It's not going to be easy, because I think that some of us, we put up with way too much in relationships. And so it kind of sets a standard for some men to say, well, I can do this. I don't have to deal with you because I can do this with this person. So, but still, you keep next.
Right.
Next.
That's right. That's right. Two things. Larry Rogers said, "Go Regina." He's proud of you. One of the listeners.
Brother
But
Larry,
now, if you had to speak something, or I guess give advice or say something to someone, a woman that maybe is not in this situation yet, what would you tell that person? What would you tell that person?
Who is?
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at also is what the warning signs. What are the things to look for to avoid these types of pitfalls?
So I would say that, first of all, it's never okay for someone to hit you. Don't allow them to ever make you feel like it's okay. I'm not saying I was perfect in a relationship. I know sometimes my mouth, women, we have these mouths, but there's no excuse for someone to put their hands on me.
Never.
When they show you things, believe them the first time. Don't forget, like, you forgive, but you don't keep allowing it. Hold them accountable.
Nice.
I think that's the biggest thing, not holding people accountable. Like I talked about my jaw being broken, then I married him after that. It was just not just crazy, right? But trust God, see God. If a man is not treating you the way that God says that you should be treated, God is loving, calm, patient. Everything about God is good. And if you're being treated opposite of that, it's not a man from God. Right. So just be patient. Now I'm learning, like you said, I'm waiting, for the right one this time. I'm not in a rush. I've learned so much about myself. I did self-care, did things to find out who I am. I know sometimes because sometimes the way we grow up, we don't have that father figure like in a way that we desire to have them. Right. We look for love in all the wrong places, and it's someone giving us a little bit of attention. We think that's enough, but we deserve so much more. Like we are queens, we deserve so much more. So you don't not have to settle, and don't be afraid to leave. I would say before you do leave, it depends on your situation. Use wisdom. Ask God to give you a way of escape and a plan. You have to do it the smart way, because you don't want to leave and then they get you make them so mad that they know that you're leaving. You have to really be smart and use wisdom in the way that you do it. But God will be with you, and he will take care of you and your kids. Don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. Love yourself, because God loves you, and you are so worthy of just greatness and great love.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. That's good. That's great.
So tell us how they can get your book and follow you on social media to find out what you're doing and what you're doing next. Do you have a book signing coming up or anything you want to share?
Yeah, so I want to first thank Larry Rogers, Paris Rogers, and Langston for publishing my book. That's my publishing company, so I'm so grateful for them. You guys can find a book on Amazon. It's Finishing Touch by Regina Latrice. Regina Latrice on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do have a book signing coming up in July. I'm getting the final details for that wrapped up now. It should be done by the end of the week, and I'll have a flyer out, so you guys just be on the lookout on my social media pages. I would love to see you all there. It's going to be awesome, and I just pray that my book is a blessing to you guys, because that is my heart, that is my prayer, that God will be glorified and that people will be free and people will really see themselves in the lens of God. So
nice.
Thank you.
That's great. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys. And much love and many blessings to you, Sister Queen, and keep moving forward.
That's right.
Moving forward. Keep your
You'll
eyes on God, and you will be fine. Ask God to continue to guide your footsteps. You will be fine. You will be fine. So
thank you guys
for joining us on the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Is there anything else that you want to share before we tune out?
Just thank you to everyone who has bought my book so far, and the feedback that you guys are giving me. I just appreciate your love, and I just appreciate my village, my family, my friends, my children. I love you guys so much. That's those are my hearts. Just everyone who's just supporting me, and just really, because you guys do give me strength. When every time I get ready to speak, I get so nervous, and the fear comes over me. I know it's all the enemy, but I'm grateful for the people that supported me, because I know that it's just not about me, and I have to do this, and I have to be courageous to help other people. So that's all.
Good.
Well, and we thank you for doing just that.
Yep, absolutely, Virginia. Congratulations again. Keep moving forward.
Thank you guys.
And I'm going to get your book. So
thank you.
I'm going to get your book.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Much success to you. You're welcome.
You guys have a good night.
You as well.
Goodbye, Virginia. Nice.
So yes. So
That's
ladies,
excellent.
y'all heard it. If you are in a domestic violence situation, you do not have to stay there. But just as she said, Sister Regina said, make a plan,
That's
get
right.
an exit strategy, because you don't want to be out here on the streets trying to
Right.
figure things out.
That's right. That's
You
right.
want to
Right.
make a plan so that you can leave and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that you don't ever have to go back,
And I'm sorry, Lynette. It's something she said, the last thing that she said, I just want to reiterate that, lean on your village. Lean on your village. You're not in it alone, and don't let anyone even attempt to isolate you from your village, because it seems like that's one of the tactics. If you feel that you're alone, then you feel that you don't have anywhere to go. So, and actually, Lynette, that's a part of the planning process.
There's strength
Make sure there's strength in numbers, and we always talk about not paying attention to what the voices on the outside say. But if it's your village, that inner circle, they're not going to steer you wrong. And you don't have to.
You got to pay attention to who's in your village.
Correct. Well, what I was going to say is that you don't take everything that they say, for verbatim, but hear them out.
Right.
Hear them out. If you feel that something is not right. If you felt like something's not right, and the village is saying the same thing, then you really have to, take that assessment.
Right. And the only reason why I said that is because there's some people that,
absolutely,
they might say, "Girl, no, you need to stay." But what you gonna do without him?
Right.
So your village.
Right.
So
agreed.
Some people, you gotta look at their life and be like, okay, I don't think I want to take your advice.
Right.
You don't make the best decisions with what's
Absolutely.
going on. So you gotta pay attention to your village.
And as she said, though, it starts with her. She said that she knew that something wasn't right. So it starts with you, and then a strong village will help you to realize that you're not completely off, versus someone around you saying, nobody's going to love you, anything, all of those feeding you all that negative information. Absolutely. You feel inside that it's not right. Absolutely. And then your village saying the same thing. Absolutely. You really have to pay attention to it.
And when I was younger, it's something that I'm not proud of. I was abusive to somebody I was with. I know y'all like, not you, Lynette. Yep, yes, me.
You're gonna expound on that, or was that another show?
Well, I mean, I know we have to go, but I was mad at the world. It was a time when I was mad at the world. I didn't love myself, and I took it out on somebody really close to me, and he loved me to death, and would give me anything that I wanted. So it wasn't even like he was a bad guy. Thank God he never hit me back. But he would just hold me and say, "What's wrong? Like, what's wrong? Like, I love you. Why are you doing this?" And I was saying, it's not you, like, it's me. But it was a time when I just was like, I need to do him a favor and leave, because he didn't deserve it, And that's why when people say, "Oh, if a person ever hit you, that means they don't love you," don't necessarily mean they don't love you. What it means for sure, for certain, is they don't love themselves. Because if you love yourself, you know how to love other people. Wow. You know how to treat other people. And it's something that I've never done again. I was a teenager, a hothead, and and I was mad at the world because my life wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. And I took all of my frustrations out, like, how dare you come in and buy me clothes? It's not funny, but it's like, my dad wasn't around that much either. So it was almost like he was filling in the gap, and I was mad about it. When I should have been happy, saying, "Thank you, Jesus," for filling in the gap, but I didn't know any better then. I didn't know any better, and I took it out on him. And I finally got the opportunity to apologize to him, and and thank him for never hitting me back. He was raised right. He was raised right, But it's something that I'm proud of, and I never did it again. I saw the pain that I caused him, and I asked him. I said, "I hope that it didn't make you do that to somebody else."
Hurt people, like you said. Right.
It is learned behavior, because the guy before him, he was very angry, and I thought that's how you solve problems. Or when you're mad, I thought he didn't hit me, but he would tear up whatever was around. He would tear the banister out the railing, or he would punch a hole in the wall. So I thought that's how you showed your anger and frustration, you know, because that was what I saw. That was my first relationship. And so I thought, you know, this is how people handle their frustrations. But I know now it's definitely
that.
But go ahead, because I know we gotta go.
I was gonna say that. Unfortunate in that, you know, we're 30 minutes over, but I truly believe, you know, you said a mouthful, and I've heard people talk about that anger before, and I think that, you know, the whole thing, you don't want to do it a disservice by not diving into that deeper. So absolutely. I don't know if it's going to be you and Francine.
Franchella.
I don't have my glasses on.
We already talked about it. It's nothing that I just wanted to be transparent and real, because we were on that subject. And I know people out there that know my story and be like, well, why Lynette ain't say she did it before? So I told you
not even only about, you know, your situation though, because I know people that's talked about being mad at the world. I would like to. It would be nice to be able to delve deeper into those emotions. Where did that come from? Like I said, I know we're 30 minutes over, so we're about to pull the plug. Right. But that would be very interesting, because I heard it before, not just from you. It's kind of what I'm getting at.
I was 17.
Still, it was an emotion that was there. And like I said, I heard somebody else say the same thing. Right, that's why it grabbed me when you said it. Mad at the world. What do you mean? You know what I mean?
I said, because my life wasn't the way that I wanted to be. It wasn't going the way that I wanted to be. And I was mad at the world because of that. That's what I said.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
You know? So thank y'all for tuning in to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, TL. Thank you, Regina. Make sure y'all go out there and get the book. We hope that Stacy and TL bring back Real Brothers Live. Mm-hmm. And we'll definitely have y'all back on. Franchella, thank you. And Tony.
Yes, thanks, Franchella.
And thank y'all for always supporting the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Thank you, Brother Larry. Thank you, Sister Paris. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everybody who tuned in tonight to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Thank you, Scarfo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love y'all. And until we meet again, always keep it what? 100.
Keep it real. Keep it 100.
Keep it real.
Take care. Good night.
Thank you, Stacy.